Right, so here's a little thing that you can do with your Helix if you've got the full-size Helix or the HX Stomp. I just want to show you what I'm doing with it. This is the thing using the 3-note synth generator. I think that's what it's called. 3-note generator. 3-note generator, yes. I'll just dig into the Helix here. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want. I'm going to try and show you something that you may not know about the Helix there. Leave comments if it was helpful at all. But this is how I'm using it. I think it's a really good creative tool, a really good improvisational tool, and a really good practice tool. So let's dig into the 3-note generator. So here is, I think, one of the main reasons that you might want to consider buying a Helix as opposed to an HX Stomp, HX Effects or Pod Go. You got access to 8 snapshots, and for this 3-note generator I think that's really important. So the way I have it set up is 8 has the 3-note generator bypassed, and if I then press snapshot 1 I get chord 1. Chord 2. And then snapshot 8 is clear. The one negative kind of thing with this is if I wanted to write in all these snapshots, that would take ages, whether you use HX Edit or on here, so I haven't really bothered to do that. I just know that chord 1 to 7, the kind of diatonic chords. The other kind of annoying thing is that because I've got socks on, when I press these capacitive foot switches you get the old annoying thing. But, so what I'm doing is, you can see here, each of these parameters changes per snapshot, which and then the bypass on snapshot 8. This obviously is going to take a while to actually program for yourself. The other thing that I could show you actually is if you go bank up or bank down, I've set up this whole set list to have all of these pads so I can just change key if I need to. So it's a really powerful little block, especially with the full Helix. So you could go in here, and if you were to start from scratch, you'd get this kind of thing. So pitch, 3-note generator, this is where you start. And if you bypass it, by default you'll have a C chord. The other thing that I've got going on is that I've got an EQ, giving you a high cut, and a glitch delay to give some of that sparkly stuff. So you could experiment with putting other things down the chain. You know, without the EQ, here's what you would get, and that it would sound like this. Well, that's also going into a reverb here, but that's the basic sound of it. If I EQ it, it gets a bit smoother, and then a bit of sparkle. Now obviously you've got 3 notes because it's a 3-note generator, so you can see you've got controls for each one. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 controls per note. So you've got the shape of the wave, so saw up. I quite like saw down. And you got the octave. Note, level, so that's obviously just controlling the level, and then glide, we can glide between notes. Pretty clever. And then you got the same thing, so the other 2 notes, so you can make chords and stuff, as you could hear, obviously. And then what else we got? Attack. So this will be the time it takes to turn on, I think. So quicker, or you know, up to very, very long attack times. And then decay, that's kind of how long it takes to trail off. Dry level is your dry guitar, so you can either have that killed or not, or control that. And then the actual level here. So you control the volume of each individual synth note or oscillator, and then the level of the block and your dry guitar. So that's really all there is to it. The kind of trick to this is to think about how you're going to arrange your things. So for me, that was the most flexible way. If I have the chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, chord 4. So in E, I've programmed in a version of E major. So you see there's an E, a B, and an F sharp. So that's the 9. Then for the chord 2, I've got F sharp, A, and F sharp. Chord 3, G sharp, B, F sharp. And I've tried to keep some similar notes throughout. So A, and F sharp. B, and F sharp. We've got C sharp in there. And then a bypass for that. So I think it's a really, really, really useful block, especially if you're into this sort of stuff. You can also pan and change the level of these. So if you had it in stereo, you can pan. I like to have the bass right in the middle, and then the other oscillators around that, so you've got a very clear bass note. But yeah, the kind of, you can do what you like with it. So for instance, if I was just playing around myself, you know, I might start in E major. If I press bank, I can see what else I've got available. And then I could, you know, move around keys, you know, if I'm just practicing something, or and I've chosen to kind of keep it simple so that you could add other stuff to these presets if you wanted to, or change things out, because you don't want to be building kind of something totally bespoke every time. So I guess you could put in things like a looper if you wanted to. If you've got a way to control that, you know, you could put in your own drive pedals. But also with the snapshots, I wanted to keep it simple, so I might use like an external drive pedal going into the Helix for this, ideally, because I want to have control of every snapshot the way that I'm doing this. So feel free to like and subscribe. This is in the pads section, but that's kind of one of my favorite things about the full Helix that you can't really do with the others. Aside from having double the processing power, you've got more than double the snapshot, so that enables doing these really creative things like this, I think. I'll catch you in another video soon. Cheers!